This college basketball picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code SGPN to score up to $1,000 in bonus cash. We're also brought to you by Rebet, a new sportsbook available in 45 states. Download Rebet in your app store and use promo code SGPN for 100% deposit match up to $100. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
This is Jim Mora, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer? Dog.
Well, it feels like we're interrupting an NFL Wednesday. Thanks.
Yeah, what are we doing? Why are we talking college basketball on a Wednesday?
Colby and all right. So this is how it went down. Every week Colby has to be difficult.
Yes.
And this week he decided to say, the slates on Monday and Tuesday are just dog shit. We should just do Saturday. Of course, later in the week we're heading to Vegas on Fridays. Thursdays, you got a tight window. Man in the box is here, and so I was like, this is not going to work. We got to do Wednesday. And so here we are on Wednesday talking about games on Saturday. Hopefully this goes smoothly.
Well, Colby was enjoying us on the line from the college experience.
I guess
to
we
talk
can bring him
all
on.
things college basketball. Colby was in the ultimate Benedict move. Kramer. Colby was complaining about getting jobbed by the Colby lines. It was true Benedict on Benedict crime. It's like Benedict Arnold. These traitors are destroying this nation.
And on top of that, Cockburner ends up playing, so I bet Creighton. So a true Benedict, play my music again, Sean. Let's go.
Colby's
Let's go.
excited. My God.
And to key on top of all of that, North Carolina football school now. Bring in old Belichick.
Wow, losing by 15. Yeah. We were watching VSiN and fellow VSiN guy Paulie, love Mitch and Paulie, follow the money. He said he listed the Bill Belichick agreeing to become the UNC head football coach is one of his all-time greatest sports surprises. Which to me it was surprising, but he had it up there with.
All right, number one was all right. I'll go backwards. Number 5 was. And this we didn't even talk about. This is a
crazy one.
Fritz Peterson and Mike Kekich in 1973 on the Yankees swapped wives and families.
That is so. That's an ultimate sports surprise.
That's number 1.
And I love how things were really different back then for a number of reasons. Because one, maybe you got a swinger lifestyle, you swap wives, but then you keep the kids that the other people had. Why not trade the kids? That was crazy.
4 was Douglas over Tyson, which that's fair. One of the greatest gambling upsets ever.
Yeah, very big surprise.
48-1, I believe, was the number on Buster Douglas. Number 3, Belichick to UNC. Number 2, Barry Sanders retiring, and number 1, the OJ Bronco chase. What a list! What a list!
It's a crazy list that Belichick cracks there. I'm not going to be saying, "Hey, I remember where I was when I heard Belichick was coaching UNC." It is surprising, I guess.
Well,
I don't think it should have cracked the top 5, in my opinion. Like
of course not. That's crazy.
His
Especially
dad.
when you compare it to those other things, like him going back to college before he goes back to the pros. Yeah, that's a little surprising, but it's still like a big program, and you could see how, especially
his
with
dad
NIL
coached there too. His dad coached.
Yeah,
there.
like he has a connection to the program.
It's well funded.
Yeah.
He
said he's going to run it like a semi-pro
changing, and he's also managed to he's also exposed to the world that he's been he's into younger individuals in terms of fraternizing with, and it sounds like he's setting his family. I mean, Colby maybe has some more details, but it sounds like he's setting not only himself up, but the institution that they plan on building at North Carolina will not only be run by Bill Belichick in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still waiting for that to be officially reported. But one of the things I had read a couple days ago was that a part of that deal was Steve Belichick, the Washington, who actually did a really good job at Washington this past year, his first year as a DC.
We know it was a take it or leave it deal from Belichick's side, and we know there are reports that there was a succession plan in the deal, some 500-page plan on how to build this thing, what the organization is going to look like, what it's going to do for the young men. And then, how Steve Belichick will be the head coach in 4 years.
I'm fascinated by this.
That's pretty amazing power. That's beyond that's like the new phase of the buyout, right? It's not a buyout anymore. You just get your kid a job.
Imagine interviewing for the job and being like, yeah, and after I'm done, you're hiring my kid. Like that's a lot.
You're Bill Belichick. I mean, how many people on the planet probably just one person on the planet could even do that. Right? Urban Meyer, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Saban, maybe. I don't know. But it's just fascinating because, to me, even I saw his thing on McAfee show saying he's going to run it like an NFL program, and that makes sense. Dion is doing similar stuff, but I still wonder, it's just a lot different. You're going to go up against a bunch of different
kids
offenses. Yeah. And kids, that's what I'm saying. A bunch of obstacles that I don't think you're used to. Now I will say this, since we're talking about,
I do think you're also you're providing you're kind of in the position of if you want to get in the NFL, it's kind of like Alabama's been for the last 15 years. Come to Alabama, you'll go to the NFL. And for some kids that will be appealing. To your point, a lot of kids, it's only about the money, and maybe that makes UNC not there for. I mean, if I was only about the money, I don't think I'd want to go to a Belichick way college football team.
Well,
I might want to go somewhere else.
And in this era of, hey, I'm not starting, I'm gonna opt out and hit the transfer portal. I don't know how Belichick's gonna handle that once the rubber hits the road.
That's the thing.
Yeah. So we'll see. This will be interesting.
There's gonna be an organization. There's gonna be a GM. Essentially a GM. There's going to be all these components that, I think in defense of Belichick, he's right to approach it this way. It's very fascinating to me that he was already prepared with a proposal for the university.
Good job interview skills.
Why?
Versus some guys who interview for our thing and they're like, yeah, I'm going to take this call into the parking lot of a Hooters.
That was an all timer. Guy who ran the social for the NBA show for a tiny bit. He interviewed literally from a Hooters parking lot.
No,
where he
that was not I did not make that up.
He just finished getting torn up or something. I forget what the words he used.
What I'm excited about is, Lawrence Taylor was a North Carolina. Bill Belichick helped make him really, really, I think one of the best players ever. And you guys may remember that North Carolina, which they're big into their academics with
they love books.
Well, and if I may add this to the stage right now, Kramer, if you could share the page that I have, you might remember. I think it was Rashad McCants, the essay that got an A.
Oh.
The thesis on Rosa Parks, saying on the evening of December, Rosa Parks decided that she was going to sit in the white people section of the bus in Montgomery, Alabama. During this time, blacks had to give up their seats to whites. When more whites got on the bus, Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat. Her and the bus driver began to talk, and the conversation went like this. "Let me have those front seats," said the driver. She didn't get up and told the driver that she was tired of giving up her seat to white people. "I'm going to have you arrested," said the driver. "You may do that," Rosa Parks responded. Two white policemen came in, and Rosa Parks asked them, "Why do you push us all around?" The police officer replied, "Look, I don't know, but the law is the law, and you're under arrest." That got an A+ in their that was the whole entire.
That's a great paper.
Oh, well, I like on the evening of December. So,
Yeah,
does
it's
that
a
mean it was
December
November
evening.
30th?
Hey, I learned a lot from that. Thank you. Thus concludes the UNC paper review.
If you're not, if you're, it is possible if you're on the younger side, you may not have fully consumed some of the stuff that UNC got caught doing with the.
It was pretty crazy.
I mean, they had not. I'm sure this happens at SEC. Before the SEC honks get after me. Of course, you guys are always number one. I'm sure you also have had plenty of people who
number
can't
one
read.
in cheaping.
Well, I'm sure
Cheating.
they've had plenty of people who can't read graduate from their, or at least go play college football. But yeah, I mean, it was as low as like dudes who just flat out couldn't read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's impressive. So
Well,
I have this is going to be an interesting chapter in UNC athletics.
Well, I feel like before they would never let the football team cheat. If it did, it would be barely. It was a basketball thing. They were all in on basketball.
Well,
so-
no, but that was funny because
You don't think Lawrence Taylor was getting some?
Well, back
extra
then,
incentive?
that was like
But-
78. But
I feel like even recently though, UNC got hit with a ton of sanctions. Their football program, and they were like below 500.
yeah, and it was kind of minor. If you're going to cheat, you got to go all the way.
But
You know?
that's because of the mentality of the people who provide the money to cheat for North Carolina, right? I think that's where most of these situations break down. It's not the university; it's the people that the university lets handle these situations. And I just imagine some like foghorn leghorn motherfucker.
I say.
Just walking down, heading over to, where was it, Colby? Was it McDonald's or whatever? They were handing off the paper bags of money.
Oh yeah, McDonald's in Knoxville, right? I think it was
Well, that's
Burger
why-
King. I think it was a Burger King and a McDonald's.
Well, that's why Luigi, they caught him at the McDonald's. He thought he was going there, drop off a bag of cash, get some Altoona recruits. Next thing you know, they're framing this guy.
I feel like I'm watching the beginning of the movie Shooter. I mean, it just come on. What are we doing?
It was I mean.
What are we all
Sure,
stupid?
this guy that hates capitalism and he's eating at McDonald's. You do your own research on that one.
It's like, come on, get at least.
He's a critic. He hates the food industry and he's a critic of
This
it.
is what happens.
He's having a hash brown and a McGriddle.
This is
Yeah.
what happens when you let the AI do the script writing.
Yeah, come on.
He's
Yeah,
all
even
over the place.
Even the deep state's getting lazy with their script writing, right? All right, let's talk college basketball picks. What do we got?
So we
this-
don't want to. Do we want to? Well, you started by saying Colby was unhappy with his own work.
Yeah.
Do we want anything we want to address from the last show, Colby?
Disappointing performance, but
Okay.
I did Benedict on the Creighton. I hope you followed me there, as I warned you guys I was going to Benedict on that too. I said if Cockbrenner's playing, if he's playing, then I'm riding Michael Crichton. And then a couple of lines were off that would have given us wins, but it's
Discord, another losing week for Discord, and I maintain the best overall record.
Oh, very good,
Kramer. Though you did have a good week, 10-6, 2 locks. So hats off to you.
I'm as they say, I'm hawking your asses down.
Hawking. What does that mean?
I'm just.
I thought you were going to do a Hawk Tua thing.
I'm chasing you down.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to spit on it.
All right, thank you.
As we mentioned, we will be using Pick Dundee's numbers here. We are headed to Saturday games, so this episode's going to be evergreen for a couple of days. I can't wait to see some of the comments.
the Saturday slate when you
being
mix
critical of Pick Dundee's numbers here. But what were you saying about the Saturday slate?
it's like rivalry week with a ton of great games, and you mix that with Army Navy football, the FCS playoffs, D2, D3, NAIA. What the hell are we doing? All right, they're all there for you, Kramer. There's a world out there. Get out of the desert, bro. Get out of the desert.
I'm out of the desert. I'm very much engaged, locked in, laser focused. That's why I tore up last week's slate, going 10-6. Memphis, Clemson. Heading to Clemson,
The
South
slate
Carolina.
still never recovered from Ryan.
It still has not recovered. It's still walking funny. 8 is this time right? 8 a.m.
8
on the
a.m.
West Coast. Early time here. Clemson is a football school. They're probably pretty excited about being in the playoff. Anthony Hardaway and the boys catching 6 per Pick Dundee. How we feeling about Clemson, Colby?
I like them a lot. I mean, look, the ACC's hot garbage so far this year when it comes to their product. But Clemson is 9-1, and they beat Kentucky here at the Sherwood Forest, their Little John Coliseum.
They're printing press right now.
But Memphis was looking great before they ran into Arkansas State, which is a rival in Jonesboro there. Arkansas State double-digit money line play by us on the College Basketball Experience. Subscribe.
Oh, wow.
Subscribe. Tell a friend.
Unapproved plug.
Clemson has the Palmetto Bowl on deck. They got South Carolina on deck.
Yeah.
Penny Hardaway just lost. I know it's a revenge game. Like Memphis beat them by I think it was 2 last year. But I think this is one where the athleticism might be a problem for Clemson. I'm a little scared of that arena because that place can get lit. But PJ Haggerty, Tyrese Hunter, I think I'm going to take I think it's the spot. This is about the spot because with South Carolina on deck, rivalry game, I think they might be looking past a Memphis team that just got caught looking past, their game against Clemson and got bit by Arkansas State, little brother. So give me the Tigers to get it done.
I'm with you. I mean, you can't give this Memphis team 5 points considering how good they are behind the arc. This team is one of the best teams in college basketball at shooting the 3 ball. Colby did a good job of figuring out that it is a bad spot for Clemson, even though Clemson's pretty good defense, okay at defending the 3. I think you got to take Memphis in the points. This is a hair too high. Wouldn't be surprised if it's like 5.5, 6. As soon as this opens, I would grab the points because I do think it gets bet down.
Really?
I do.
For what it's worth, the Ken Pom number is 7.
Yes.
So you think it's going to go against Ken Pom?
No.
Oh, so you think it might get bigger?
No, I don't think it's going to open at 5.
Okay,
I think it's going to open slightly higher and then get bet down. So that's what I said when it opens at 6.
Okay, we'll get value before it gets down to the pick Dundee number.
Yes.
Memphis shoots the ball behind the arc well, but they also don't defend behind the arc well. Clemson's been a printing press. No reason to get cute here.
Shout out to Hunter Morales saying, "What's up, you crazy mofo's? I have too much money on the Long Island Shacks this evening." Well, Hunter, perfect time to remind you to not only is Colby like the Long Island Sharks, I'm guessing you like them tonight, Colby. Rhythm also. I got a college basketball model going. My model and Rhythm's model both finds a ton of value in the Long Island Sharks catching 14.5 against UMass Lowell. And of course, get your own college basketball models going, picks, props. They got it all. NBA, college football, so much more. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Great center there, or setup by Hunter there.
Lowell is a little bit like Louisville, which I was given a great explanation.
Are you going to get the key to the city, Ryan?
I don't know, but I mean, there has been a lot of positive
pronunciation awareness.
Although I will say some of the people who have reached out have said, "Great job, you're doing a good job pronouncing it," but Louisville shithole.
Yeah,
so it's like
Kentucky
on Kentucky hate. It's like nice job saying something from Kentucky, right? But that place fucking sucks.
Papa John's probably a New York Giant fan too, since their history with white quarterbacks, and I'm sure
Papa John says don't draft Shador or Cam Ward, just trade for Sam Darnold, and that's what the Giants are gonna do.
Yeah, he's Carson Beck.
Not if you listen to Nevin Shapiro. Who apparently he's a big time insider.
Well, he certainly.
Well, he was. He
certainly has access to a lot of. This is what.
He did have a lot of access.
Well, this is what they call Florida Capital.
Cocaine Cowboys. Let's go. All right.
Colby. What were you saying, Colby?
Well, no, I was going to say that in the city of Louisville, that Papa John, he was at one point he was a gigantic. The stadium was named Papa John Stadium. He said he didn't know he was on speaker, allegedly. And I know he had complained about his tax, the tax cut, the taxes he was paying with his 37 bedroom house with the fucking moat. But, he's a good guy, and I think him and Kramer would hit it off.
Papa John.
Yeah,
I think Colby's trying to get. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand this angle he's taking.
Well, no, I thought with your love for Louisville, he would welcome you. And then he's a Giant fan too. He thinks they run the organization their way.
For the record, and shout out to Eric suggesting that there is more thanks for the pronunciation, but like many, Louisville still sucks. So it's a confusing place. But it's not about my love for Louisville. It's more about my dedication to accuracy and attempting to pronounce things correctly. Unlike Sean, who just throws.
You need to talk to Daniel Jones, then, huh?
What do you mean?
Accuracy?
Oh well, I mean, I don't. He's dead to me.
He's dead.
The fact that he's being given a charity gig up in Minnesota so he can hold Sam Darnold's fucking balls. Anyway, we've not found our way because we let Colby speak for extended periods of time. We
20 minutes, and we've only talked about one game. We haven't even talked about the guy driving the car through the guy driving through the car through the window. Which was
or the flag planting being illegal.
All right, yeah, flag planting. I mean, we got to do something about this. My cousin's doing 18 months for F&P flag plant. They sent him upstate. He was wrong place, wrong time. His buddy just said, "Hold this flag for a little bit." He put it in the ground. What's he to do? Now it was the third strike.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield would be doing. I mean, what's the statute of limitations?
Oh, Baker Mayfield's never going to see the light of day. Felony for a flag plant. Tell me you're soft without telling me you're soft. Jesus, learn how to take a loss. My God, you're in the college football playoff.
It comes with It comes with a 6-month prison sentence. This level of felony. Listen, this is the politician quote.
I'm about to plant my flag, boy.
Yeah, you get 6 months and a monthly flag plant of your own.
Oh my God.
I am proud to introduce the Ohio, which is an acronym, Sportsmanship Act, to make flag planting at midfield a felony in the state of Ohio. Behavior that incites violent brawls and puts our law enforcement officers in danger has no place on the football field. Look, those law enforcement officers, they don't need to be on the field. The players don't need them. They can just exit the field. And I did see someone elaborated that the bill would actually not be enforceable at any other stadium. That this would only covers Ohio State. So other teams that play in Ohio would not be a felony to plant a flag, say at Bobcat Stadium or whatever.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. I was like, can you imagine if they go through with this and like there's like 10 Ohio Mac schools. You're just sitting there, you win the Battle of I-75 and you go do that.
I mean, this is one of the. I'm sure this is probably a little offensive. I don't mean it that way, but this is one of the queerest things I've ever seen in sports recently.
Queer isn't weird.
Yeah, like what are you do? It is a heated political. I mean, granted, I'm sure a lot of people in Ohio are probably for this, but I mean, Ohio State already known as a petulant, whiny baby fan base.
Well, and to be fair, I think they
spend $35 million on the roster this year, $10 million on the coach, and they still fucking suck.
There were a number of Ohio State fans who hit up and said, "Hey, I'm an Ohio State fan. This is stupid. This doesn't represent Ohio State fans." So
it feels like this is what you would. This is what the parents at the club would do after something didn't go their way. They would try to make the rules change. Like this is youth parent. This is soccer mom shit right here.
Oh, this is probably the guy that wrote in to say let's call them the Cleveland Guardians.
No, don't. All right, boy. Now we've gone too far.
See, Colby,
Kramer, what's the next game?
I have seen a couple different reports suggesting that there will be a further adoption of the old Redskins culture with the Washington Commanders next year. So stay tuned, Colby. Maybe you'll have a smile on your face after all. Texas A&M.
Who are the Commanders?
That's a good point. They're heading to West Lafayette. Indiana, where Purdue has a new football coach. They went to the desert and got married. Crazy, like so many others. Purdue laying 1.5 here on the basketball court. 9 a.m. on the West Coast. Again, we're talking games on Saturday. Pick Dundee numbers, and of course, I'm riding with my guy Buzz. Which one of you idiots faded Buzz last time we talked about it? Oh, both of you. Oh, interesting. Interesting. And you failed to mention how I went 5-1 in island games where you two idiots faded me. Like you did in the first game. Like you did in the first
scoreboard.
That's fine. All right. So feel free to tell me why Buzz is the wrong side.
This is you mentioned it is on a neutral, right?
No,
I mentioned
semi neutral.
I mentioned that it was in West Lafayette.
Yeah, my bad. It's in Indianapolis.
It's in Gainbridge Fieldhouse, Ryan. Come on.
But this will still be a Purdue crowd. This is a Purdue crowd.
I have it graded as a semi neutral. Ken Palm as well.
And that's why you got to take Purdue here. Look, they're coming off of
feed.
They're coming off of a big win against Maryland, but at the same time, they just been fire at home. If this still counts as home in your eyes, I'm curious what you have this at. It's like the K metric here. Is this a home game for you, Kramer?
In the state of Indiana, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Texas A&M's there's gonna be like 3 Texas A&M.
In
fans.
some ways, it's more of a home game because
it's a bigger event, and you're excited to go to it.
Yeah,
I mean, not that you wouldn't be already for Purdue basketball. I mean,
Purdue has a decent sized alumni base. I mean, I think it's one of these things like the Purdue. This will be a very clear Purdue crowd.
Yeah, and to Colby's point, I mean, look at what they've done at home. They beat Alabama at home by 9. NC State they beat on a neutral. Ole Miss they beat on a neutral. This is a good team. I mean, when they go on the road, that's where they've struggled. But I'm considering this a home game. I like Texas A&M usually as a dog, but 1.5's not enough. Give me Purdue.
It's a back-to-back away. They were just in Lubbock where they pulled off the upset against Texas Tech. I know the SEC is dominant in basketball right now and pretty average in football, and I think this is just a good spot for Purdue. They're coming up there. Just the style of play. I know you could say, well, A&M will have the athletes, Purdue will have the staples, but that seems to be a problem. Alabama had the athletes. They went up there to take on the staples, and the staples won. So, I think the 3-point shooting will be the X factor, as well as the free throw shooting. 2 big edges there for the Boilermakers with that home crowd behind them. Boiler up.
Just because we're all journalists here, the last game was not at Lubbock; it was in Fort Worth at the Dickies Arena. I'm sure we all knew that, though.
Yeah, I did.
I'm not here to fact check.
Oh, are you smashing me for a semi-home spot?
I'm here to. I just want to make sure the audience gets the
full
the
disclosure.
News. Kramer, what are you doing?
The news. What do you mean? It sounds like we're building island number 2.
Oh, Texas A&M. That's right.
Why would I ever fade Buzz? The way this team's playing this year, the way after that first, I love the way they scheduled that road game to start the season. That was the smartest thing they could have ever done. Going down to Orlando, seeing some weird shit, losing to UCF, and ever since then it's been beautiful, except for that Oregon game. Love you, Buzz. Auburn. Heading to Columbus, Ohio. Be careful not to plant any flags. Although I also don't think it applies to the basketball court, Sean.
Actually, this is in Atlanta. My bad. This is the Nike thing.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I was just gonna point this out.
Hopefully the numbers were not affected due to this clear oversight. Clear.
The numbers were made before I put in the locations.
Oh, wow. Okay. So Colby doesn't even factor in location in his handicap. This is wild. Auburn, Ohio State in Hotlanta. Again, even if it was in Columbus, the flag planting law would not apply to basketball games either, Sean. So it's safe to do it there. Bruce Pearl and this Auburn team have had a bit of a roller coaster ride of a season so far, but this is one of those Cruton trips, I think, since you told me it's in Atlanta. Laying 8.5. Colby, we're taking Auburn, right?
We are taking Auburn. Ohio State's all over the place this year. I just think Auburn coming off of the Duke loss.
Yeah, this would be interesting if this was in Ohio, but the fact that it's in Auburn, you can't take Ohio State
Auburn
here,
is
only
super
catching
close
8.
to Atlanta too. It's
Yeah,
like
no, I mean,
Well,
this
it's not in Auburn either. It's in Atlanta.
Well, it's kind of like Purdue to Indiana.
yeah,
or
I mean, this is going to
Indianapolis.
feel like a home game for Auburn.
And yeah, Chick-fil-A will be available.
Chick-fil-A will be open. It will be rocking. Auburn rolls big time. So Discord on Ohio State here.
Smart. You guys didn't create a third island there. Xavier taking on Cincinnati in Cincinnati? Question mark.
Yes.
11 a.m. 11 a.m. on the West Coast. The Bearcats are laying 9.5. I don't think have we talked about either one of these programs yet this year, Colby?
Maybe Xavier early on, but this is to me.
This is a great rivalry.
I would compare this to the Backyard Brawl or the Egg Bowl. This is like our college basketball version of this. They fucking hate each other. The fan bases hate each other. There's been a ton of fights over the years in these games. It's one of the ones you circle beginning of the year, like when college basketball is a lot different than college football because there's so many games. So you go through and you're like, when is Duke playing Carolina? When is Xavier playing Cincinnati? When is Louisville playing Kentucky? Stuff like that. So I can't wait to watch this one. But this Cincinnati was a team that I've been bullish on for the most part, but they did give me a lemon at Villanova in the past week. I know Green was excited for that one. And then Xavier's a team that I don't think has really lived up to the expectations, despite being 8-2 and coming off like a 60-point win. I think they haven't looked the part. Sean Miller went out in the portal, brought in just a great roster and a lot of hype around this roster, but I just don't think they've looked the part to me. So I'm actually, it's a rivalry game, so give me the points. But
if this was a normal game, there's a lot of reasons you would take Cincinnati, but Xavier catching 9.5 in a just empty the bucket game in Cincinnati.
You want to talk free throws?
I mean, Cincinnati's below 60% from the line. Like I'm sorry, I can't trust you to cover. I mean, they're almost this. I don't know if a team's ever shot 39% from behind the arc and 59% from the line. That is a crazy stat line there for Cincinnati. Now, Xavier, you're going to get the best effort from Xavier. Xavier plays some decent defense, good enough. I think this is going to be a game. Like I would be very surprised if this is a blowout. It's a 1-score game. 9.5's way too high. Kramer, what are you doing?
Skyline Chili?
Discord picked.
They dumped chili on the winning.
I've
coach.
never
It's
had
tradition.
Skyline chili.
You're missing out.
Do you think you'll like it, Kramer?
I'm not one to dislike much food. I'd imagine. I mean, it's just how could it be bad? I guess would be my starting point. It feels a little bit like some shit you'd make in college, just emptying out the fridge. Wisconsin, they let me down last week, and thought the whole University of Michigan would be hungover. They were not. Wisconsin now projected to be laying 4.5 on the road in Indy against Butler.
Not at Hinkle though. Not at Hinkle. This is the doubleheader for the Purdue game.
Do they do home games in college basketball anymore? What's going on?
Yeah, what is this?
Yeah, it's very annoying.
You don't like this, I assume.
Butler's located in Indianapolis. Why? Why you have one of the best stadiums ever, and you're just sitting there.
Is it that good of a money grab? It's got to be a money grab, but garbage.
Yeah. Very terrible. Very terrible.
Anyway, what do we do? So I mean, it's still you got to grade it as a home game, right?
Yeah, I mean it's going to be.
Or will the Wisconsin fans fill this one up?
I mean, maybe Wisconsin fans will travel some, maybe, but I still think Butler will have the numbers probably. But Butler's been
awesome this year. Yeah,
Butler just lost to North Dakota State last night. Now you could say, can they right the ship? I don't know. Wisconsin though was looking great early in the year, but they dropped to 0-2 in the Big Ten, losing to the Illini last night as well. So I think Wisconsin's a better team. I'm going to lay the 4.5. I'm going to go chalk here.
I think you're getting a a talented Wisconsin team hit a little bit of a skid here, losing 3 in a row. Michigan, Marquette, Illinois. This is a smash spot. This is the ultimate. You Badger team. The Badgers want to get right. It starts by just destroying Butler. So yeah, give me Wisconsin all day. Kramer, what are you doing?
Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, all road games. You don't see that often in college basketball. Give me Butler.
Oof.
Right, Colby? How often do you see a team play 3 straight road games like that in a week time? That's fairly rare, right?
I feel like that's decently rare.
Yeah. Let's fade it. Another island game, guys. Good luck. Georgetown, Syracuse, classic matchup here, right? Not really, kinda.
Historically, this one used to be an awesome rivalry. When I first was getting into college basketball, this was like one of the premier rivalries.
Yeah, strangely, I grew up a Georgetown fan, and so certainly can remember some of the good years. Sean, more of a Syracuse guy. They're laying 4.5 at home here, a place they've struggled against lesser competition. Now you bring Ed Cooley and the boys up to upstate New York. Hopefully, they don't make a turn off at the Turning Stone. We know that Ed Cooley likes the ladies that aren't his wife sometimes. Allegedly, 11:30 a.m. on the West Coast. Colby, give us a reason to take Georgetown, because Sean's definitely taking cues.
Cooley's turning that corner, man. I mean, look,
if
you watch that West Virginia game. They were up at halftime down the stretch. That building just got the best of them. Now you could say this is that gigantic fucking building. Sometimes I don't feel like it gets as loud as some of the other buildings. Is that filthy football stadium they're playing in there? And I do think with each given game, Georgetown's playing better and better. Just as a coaching, this is a coaching angle here. Like Adrian Autry has yet to prove it to me. And Ed Cooley, I do think, is getting this team better. And we've known that he's a good coach. So I'm going to take these Hoyas going up there. There's plenty of other reasons why they're a way better free throw shooting team. How about this, Sean? You missed a free throw. Syracuse 236 in the nation at the free throw line. Terrible. The Hoyas 53rd.
That feels backwards than normal.
Georgetown 70th in the nation in offensive rebounding. Syracuse 211th. There's just a lot of angles here.
I'll tell you the angle. Syracuse at home. What are you talking about? They don't lose at home. This number is short. You're getting a discount because people see Syracuse struggling with your Tennessees, your Notre Dames.
You mean losing?
Yeah, struggling.
Yeah.
They've struggled against top tier teams. Georgetown is not a top tier team. You're getting a discount on the number. Cuse rolls at home. Give me Syracuse.
Notre Dame and Georgetown have similar rankings according to Ken Pom. In fact, they're 0-4.
If it was in Georgetown, I'd probably be on Georgetown.
0-4 versus top 100 Ken Pom teams.
Probably be on Georgetown.
At home, they faced the likes of Lemoyne, defeated them by 4 points. Colgate 2 points. Youngstown State, double overtime needed. Come on, Sean. Even you have to see that Georgetown's the right side here. You love betting on Ed Cooley. No one will tell. We won't tell Syracuse.
Not here.
Okay.
Numbers not big enough. Hey, have you guys signed up over at mybookie.ag? Promo code SGPN. Get you a sweet 100% deposit bonus up to $1,000. But you got to use the promo code SGPN. Help yourself out. Get the nice sweet deposit bonus. Use that promo code SGPN. They got you with the live bet, the in-game wagering. So many reasons to get over at mybookie.ag. And shout out to graphics guy Jake for updating the graphic, getting rid of that disgusting Tony Romo. MyBookie.ag, 100% match up to, or no, not Tony Romo. Fuck Dak.
Sean,
Same
you don't
difference.
see color. It's difficult sometimes.
No, I mean, if I was, I don't. I just see Dallas. That's the only color I see. It's got to get out of there. MyBookie.ag. 100% match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rebet. Rebet, brand new take on the sportsbook experience. Help us out and help yourself out by getting a 100% deposit match up to $100. Download Rebet in your app store today and use that promo code SGPN. That's Rebet in the app store, promo code SGPN.
All right. Back to the games. I didn't actually verify this, but it did kind of seem like Colby just took some liberties and added game. Like the I know he's excited about the slate and his tail's probably wagging. Like he's not in studio right now, but I know that I know his hands were doing this before the show. He certainly bumped up the number of games because we're
same as last week. Same as last week. Same as last week.
We're gonna go to. Oh wow, so people who don't know ball will probably try to tell you this is some sort of great New Jersey rivalry. It's not. Seton Hall, Rutgers laying 9 in Piscataway. What do they call this building now? The Jersey Mike Center.
Yeah, the Danny DeVito. It's the rack. All right, it's the
rack.
Fucking rack. All right. Yeah, they played last year. Rutgers won by 7. Seton Hall is completely ass this year, but they have gotten up in a couple games. You got to ask yourself, does Shaheen Holloway and the guys get up against a Rutgers team that is really the most talented Rutgers team we've probably ever seen as far as just, landing 2 top 10 recruits.
It's that Big Ten money, Colby.
Yeah. Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper there. I don't know how you can convince yourself to take Seton Hall other than the fact that it's just a jersey on jersey game, but I'm going to lay it with Rutgers at the rack.
Yeah, I mean they've been in a pretty ridiculous stretch of games too for Rutgers. That would be the angles. They're tied. I guess they're a little. They've had a tough go, but that was a nice win against that Penn State team is good. That's a really nice win. Yeah, they're going to destroy Seton Hall.
Rutgers at the rack is always a different team too. I feel like they're awesome at that.
They bring it at home. I mean, anything of less than 10, I think you got to take.
Colby,
Rutgers.
do people view this as a rivalry?
A little bit.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Just make sure it's 100% not a rivalry. I mean, most people in New Jersey probably barely even knew that Rutgers had a basketball team until recently.
Rutgers is going to bring it, man. Laid the 9. Kramer consensus.
Oh yeah, 100%. Not a rivalry game. No need to get cute.
Discord getting Seton Hall there.
Noon out on the West Coast, right in Tucson, Arizona. I assume where UCLA takes on Arizona. Arizona. Plus 1.5 according to Pick Dundee. I hear the Pac-12 is back and ticking. I mean they're Boise State football. They got how many playoff teams does the Pac-12 have in the college football playoff right now? Pretty solid showing. Colby, how's the UCLA program doing right now? I feel like it's not been a great start to the season.
What do you mean? They're 8-1. They just won on a game winner, banked in 3 in Eugene in another Pac-12 game. And I mean, it's better to be lucky than good, but they should have, they were better than Oregon majority of that game. They shit the bed down the stretch, and then the bank was open to bail them out. But and by the way, I'm sorry.
Other way to look at it is
this is in Phoenix. This is not in Tucson.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Why did you think this was in Tucson, right?
Colby's one of.
I don't understand it. Like if you're going to travel all the way to Arizona, this one I wasn't even. This one I missed. Like the other ones
Honestly,
I knew. This one
probably an easier travel spot for UCLA because that they might even take the bus from Tucson to Phoenix. That's a pain in the ass. Meanwhile, the LA flight, that's nice and straight through.
All right, so we're not in Tucson.
No.
Once again, very embarrassing. We're heading to.
That's
Phoenix.
why the Bruins are favored.
If I didn't know that, why? I mean, so we're at the Footprint Center. Have you guys heard about this place? It's looks like it used to be the Talking Stick Resort Arena. You may remember that, where the Phoenix Suns play. I mean there will be more Arizona or UCLA fans here, Colby.
Arizona.
But
you have a lot.
I think I think you might get a little UCLA action.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
We got to take Arizona
UCLA fans.
They just hit a 3 at the buzzer. They just hit the 3 at the buzzer off glass. Like
it's annoying
up their ass.
Yeah, but look at what Arizona's done on a neutral. Now, obviously, this isn't a true neutral, but they lost to West Virginia in OT. They lost to Oklahoma.
Arizona's not good this year.
Yeah, that's the counter.
They have a high ranking because they're Arizona. They started up, but they're just not good.
I don't know, Colby. I don't know
what's up with Tommy Lloyd.
I'm taking UCLA. This is something not right about this Arizona team.
But the other way to look at UCLA also is that they in their only 2 non-home games, They lost to New Mexico and required a ridiculous outcome to beat Oregon. And so can you really trust them away from home as well? This is a very difficult situation.
I like the Wildcats here. I think that home crowd behind them. Well, I just think they're a little bit better than 4-4. Like they've played to their credit, they've played a lot of good teams. I mean, look, Wisconsin. They got what? Wisconsin, Duke, Davidson, Oklahoma, and West Virginia are all having pretty good seasons so far.
Good teams, yeah.
I think it's a get right spot, and I love the fact UCLA just won at the buzzer because I do think that makes Arizona. Like it's like the same with the field storm.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's buzzer beater. You got to fade the team off a buzzer beater. That's a great point by Colby. Final decision. Give me not UCLA.
I'm sticking with UCLA. They're a good team.
Florida. And are we playing this?
This is in Atlanta.
Fuck you, Colby. I mean, this is pick Dundee.
This is an all-time record of
letting us all down.
When I quickly threw that together, I forgot about all these tournaments.
You sound like a young person, just blaming
your homework.
Yeah, my dog.
Yeah. Colby, did you get rid of those dogs yet?
No, they're right over here sleeping.
Oh, everything cool? Yeah, Mud's taking them in.
Does your big dog Mud? Does he get along with them?
We put him in a cage and had him here, and they slept right, or Mud can walk around for a while. He's established his dominance, and I think we're all on the same page. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's perfect. I mean, that's all the existing dog wants to do. Just make sure everyone knows this is his shit.
I get fed first. I'm top dog.
Yep. You don't even try to get pet around me, motherfucker. Florida, and Arizona State forks up. We're heading to Atlanta, Georgia for the second game. First game, remember, was Auburn, Ohio State. Arizona State catching 5.5 points according to Pick Dundee here in this neutral spot. I mean, last time we talked about Florida, we were zooming in on the fact that they have a head coach that looks like an IT guy.
Yes.
How the fuck can we? And we also, within the past couple months, we're within the same breathing air of the head coach of Arizona State. To me, that makes this an easy handicap. Forks up.
Well, and look, if I may talk about that a little bit, I came back from Tempe a changed man, and I said that Arizona State was a team to watch out for in the Big 12 this year, and my co-host on the College Experience questioned me. They thought I was foolish. And they're off to an 8-1 start. And I told you Bobby Hurley has seen the light. You could tell with their football program thriving. And now Noah Beanick, who was giving me shit about this Arizona play, he's a Florida Gator fan. So it would be foolish. It would be foolish for me to think that I'm going to take the Gators, because I think Bobby Hurley is going to get one past his boys here. So give me the points in the Sun Devils there in Atlanta. I know it'll be a Florida crowd, I guess, but because I don't think the Sun Devil fans are going to travel knowing that they have the college football playoff potentially.
Yeah. They're not focused on basketball right now.
Yes, they're not focused on basketball. This will be a Florida
Did you say
crowd.
Noah Beanick was giving you trouble?
He was giving me trouble on my.
Was it this Noah Beanick? Was it this Noah Beanick?
Noah, we were talking about geo trackers, and Noah said there was a photo of him. You got to go to youtube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast, because Noah has this sweet orange Jeep Wrangler that's like, he's posing. I'm guessing this is like Lake Michigan, and he's got his orange polo to match his Jeep. This is a great senior photo.
I showed this to my daughter, and I go, do kids do, like, is this a thing that kids do? Like, take pictures with their cars? She's like, oh yeah, Dad. The guys will take their prom pictures with their car. Like one picture with the girl and the car, one picture just with the guy in the car.
Oh, you use the car to get the girls.
But you also love the car. Some may make fun of me for this, but I don't think I've ever had a romantic engagement with a car.
Wow. Yeah. We got to ask Noah if he has a name for that vehicle.
Well, he was tap. You see those shoes? Go back there. Look at those shoes. He was tap dancing on that fucking car hood right after that shot.
Yeah, what's he got?
Those are lifts. Give him a couple extra inches. I'm 6 feet, I swear.
Beautiful, beautiful shot. Overlooking the ocean.
Benedict is a true
lake.
East Coaster. Shout to Noah Bean Flick. I like Arizona State here. How can you go against this team as a home dog? They're playing well basketball.
Everybody's going to be on Florida here with the SEC dominance and the fact they're undefeated, but no one's talking about Bobby Hurley and the way that they shoot the three, 21st in the nation. Florida at 193. I think that and the fact that just the dog angle. I love Bobby Hurley as a dog. You know, he's got that Jersey pedigree that Kramer has so often there in the office. Back when I used to visit the office there.
Scrap. He's quite scrappy. And he somehow is the less annoying of the Hurleys at this point. Which, I mean, what would you have set the number most annoying Hurley like 10 years ago? There's no way that Bobby would be favored over Dan. No way.
Yeah.
All right, forks up. We're officially. Are you just throwing up the shocker?
No, this is the forks up.
That's very awkward. What? Talking about college athletics.
No,
I'm putting up some sexual innuendos. That's probably not even the right word for that.
No.
All right. Moving along. Forks up. Is that really how you're supposed to do the fork?
Yeah.
It's a shocker.
But where were you the entire trip, Ryan?
It's very sexual.
We had this conversation like 20 times.
It's very sexual.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that. Scratch Arizona State off the acceptable schools for my daughter to look at. LSU, Dallas, Texas, with SMU, another team that may be a little distracted because their football team's up to something right now. Colby thinks this is going to be a 2. Are they actually playing this in Dallas, Colby?
Frisco. Sorry, Frisco.
Yeah, Frisco. Well, beautiful Frisco, Texas. Sean and I have spent some time out in Frisco, Texas.
Yep.
Very
How far
beautiful.
Is that from Dallas?
The stories about the what is this?
This is the forks up thing.
Oh, cool. Yeah, nice. I could see how that kind of looks like the shocker. I see why they want to make sure those two fingers are separated. Got to make that very clear. All right. So Frisco, Texas, where Sean and I have been, lots of water towers. The stereotype about Dallas or the Texas and their water towers, very true in those parts. LSU, SMU catching 2.5 according to Pick Dundee. What are we doing here, Colby?
Well, the SEC has dominated the ACC, and I don't know if you guys know this, but the SMU, George W. made a phone call. They're in the ACC. All right.
Yeah. This new ACC though. New ACC.
We didn't have the necessary recruitments. To quote the great George W. But
imagine George W. like is trying to he's calling a kid trying to help him help recruit for SMU. I mean that would be anyway. He'd be good at the TikTok now too.
Have you guys seen how bad the SEC has beat the ACC's ass? I can't take these ACC schools. You know, no. They've been dominating this challenge. So LSU, I feel pretty good about this one. I just think they're more athletic. They're I think, you know, SMU will get there. They're in the, they went out and brought an infield from USC there, but it's year 1. LSU, McMahon, they're in year 3, I believe. So it's just the team's on a different page. So LSU, the better athletes, better offensive rebounding team. Better.
LSU
teams are good
better,
rebounding.
Yeah, LSU better defense. I mean, they're even in a bunch of metrics, but to your point, Colby, I think you got to go with a team that has the better defense, at least adjusted efficiency wise, and then the conference angle. Like when in doubt, why would you take an ACC team over an SEC team if you didn't have to? And I don't think the spread is big enough. So, give me LSU laying the 2.5. Colby, Kramer,
and taking the game off campus totally favors LSU. So that's the angle.
Is this being played in the practice bubble for the Cowboys?
No idea. It's called the Comerica Center.
It might be interesting. Sean and I have run some routes on that field, I believe, or next to that field, maybe. I have no you guys are just handicapping conferences. So that for that reason, give me SMU.
Wow. Good zag, Ryan.
Well, the island's been strong, and wanted to create some more land over here. All right, we're heading to are we heading to Kentucky, Colby?
Yes. This one's
Okay.
in this one's
True
actually
home game.
This is the game. All right. I mean, look, this is the one we had to fight for in the old folks home. Right?
True home game. Back to the way college sports should be played. Big time rivalry here between Kentucky and Louisville. Kentucky projected to be laying 11 points here, Sean. Can you believe it? Colby, I assume we're taking the points in this age-old rivalry.
All day here. Even though both these coaches are kind of going. They're both first-year coaches, but this is their first part of being in the rivalry from a coaching point of view. But Mark Pope, played at Kentucky, so I think he knows. That's the only scary thing is like this could be a C-note game.
Well,
but
I'd also point out this is the first matchup we're talking about where both teams. I mean, if you're watching live now, they play tonight, but both teams have a game Wednesday night.
Yeah, and honestly, there's probably some value in fading both Kentucky and Louisville in the Wednesday games. As you look ahead towards Saturday, and Louisville, I like their offense.
Do so much.
Louisville, I like their offense. I think they're pretty efficient, but really, Louisville's defense 31st in adjusted efficiency. But really, this is a rivalry game, so Louisville all day getting the 11 points. Kramer,
my mentions are going to be on. I apologize on behalf of SGPN and the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm 100% with Colby in taking Louisville. Not whatever blasphemy you just spent. I mean, we can never go to Kentucky. We were talking about going to Kentucky. We were talking about going and gambling with the great people of Kentucky. We can't do that now. You've taken that opportunity away from myself and Colby. Very selfish of you. Let's head over to the next game, 2:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Discord gets Kentucky minus 11, by the way, against Louisville.
Ryan sounds like he's trying to take a shit.
I've been told Louisville is a shitty place. Tennessee, Illinois, the Fighting Illini. Is this also a true home game, Colby? More college basketball.
This is a true home game. Yeah.
Oh, let's do it. Tennessee laying 2 on the road, according to yourself. Tennessee's been good.
Yeah, I think Rick Barnes is number 1 in the nation. He's hitting the road. This is a loss. Give me the Illini. This place is gonna be on fire. I can't wait to watch this game. And I think Illinois is actually a team that I thought coming into the year was looking for take a big step backwards because they lost so much production. They've been very impressive thus far, and you have the number 1 team coming to your campus. This place is going to burn down. Let's go. Illinois also top 10 3-point shooting team. Would be interested to see how Rick Barnes' defense. Traditionally, Tennessee and Barnes is so good at defense. How about this though? The Illini are the number 1 rebounding team in the nation, and those two things with the crowd energy behind you, both top 10 defensive teams. Go with the home team here. Let's go Illini.
Defense travels.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great spot for Illinois as a home dog. They're going to get up for this game against Tennessee. Although I don't know, I am worried about anytime fading Tennessee in like a non-tournament situation. I get a little worried, but and Tennessee does play really good defense, but so does Illinois. I mean, this should just be a grinded out game. Should be a great game to watch. But you got to go home dog here.
Regular season, Rick.
Yeah.
Lay it.
Yeah, I see that angle.
Man, he's got a good team right now. Longest win streak in the country.
Know what? Yeah. The more I think about it, I do. Illinois as a home dog is intriguing, but regular season, Rick, you're right, Kramer. He gets it done in the regular season. That's it. So yeah, give me Tennessee. A little last second Benedict here. Give me the Volunteers laying the 2.
See how much Colby knows ball. There are 5 teams in the country tied with a 9-game win streak. Tennessee's 1, Florida is another. We already talked about them today. Can you name the other 3, Colby?
9-game win streak.
Yes.
Let me think about this. Let's go.
One's in the SEC.
Ooh, that's LSU.
This head coach still has not called back, Sister Jean.
Oh, Sooners. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Then one's in the Mountain West.
Mountain West 9-game. Utah State.
Utah State, and then we got one in the Big West.
Irvine.
Oh yeah, baby! You see Irvine.
This is the sound drop for the anteaters. Just sniffing all the ants like Ozzy Osbourne. They got to get Ozzy Osbourne to do a UC Irvine promo. Hey, if you want to sniff ants, you come to UC Irvine. I'll do 2 lines of ants before the game.
Wait, we need that as a T-shirt.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Hit up Jake.
An ant in a shed.
No,
just
an
with
ant.
a nose full of powder.
No, an ant with a straw snorting up ants.
Yeah, like that.
Don't fade the anteaters.
Don't
Love
fade
it.
them.
Hey, speaking of animals, have you guys signed up over on Underdog Fantasy using the promo code SGPN? Get your 50% deposit match up to $1,000. And shout out to Julio in the chat saying, I've been promoting y'all on different sports platforms, even if I get booted out. Julio, you're the real MVP. You know what I'm going to do, Julio? I'm going to give you a special promo code, SGPN, and it allows you to go over to Underdog Fantasy and get a deposit match up to $1,000 in bonus cash. It doesn't stop there either. The boosts are amazing. Every time I open up Underdog Fantasy, they're tossing some special boost my way. Love me some Underdog Fantasy. Colby, do you got any? I know this is for Saturday, but maybe you have something for today, tomorrow. Does look like we have a couple games here
For tonight. And
yeah. What do you, any thoughts for tonight, tomorrow?
yes.
I was gonna say if we did want something more evergreen, he could give us. We do have football, a Saturday football game we haven't discussed with Underdog.
Okay, well,
with,
we can
Western.
okay, fire.
No, go. I mean, any of these. Who is this playing? Gio Lopez, Hayden Wolf.
Gio Lopez is the star quarterback he's questionable though. You should know that.
Okay.
But he did announce that he was coming back to the school. Hayden Wolf, this is the final game of his college career. Former Old Dominion Monarch, transferred into Western Michigan, and I like the higher on 187.5 passing yards. South Alabama's defense has been all over the place this year. But if the Lopez angle is interesting because if he plays, I do love that angle of higher than a half rushing touchdown because Fluff Bothwell hit the portal, their star running back. So right. they might try to. Lopez a mobile quarterback. They run him a lot, so I would think that they try to with the loss of Bothwell, they might try to just run Lopez there in this game. But since he's questionable, I'll even give you a third option. All right. And that is Devin Viason. They're wide out, higher than 27.5 passing yards or receiving yards, I should say. No matter who's starting, I feel like that he's one of their best players. So they got to get him the ball.
Higher 27.5 receiving yards.
Yeah. So
higher 27.5 receiving yards for Devin Viason. Gio Lopez higher, a half rushing receiving touchdown. Hayden Wolf, 187.5. $100 entry would return you $552. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN.
The Salute to Veterans Bowl, formerly the Camellia Bowl. All right, moving along. 4 p.m. on the West Coast. We're heading to Dayton, Ohio, where Dayton is taking on Marquette. Marquette laying 1.5 according to the Pick Dundee numbers. How's Shaka doing, Colby?
9-1, just beat the Badgers, so win the rivalry game. But this is a letdown spot because of it. And you got to go to UD Arena, and this arena is fucking awesome. As someone that's been this place, it does college basketball right. This place will be rocking. It's one of the harder places to grab a dub. The energy's always good. The times are always rolling, Kramer. Next time you guys are in Canton, why don't you scoot down to old UD Arena? catch
I
a
remember
game.
I remember the last time we were there when Dayton was hosting a D-Gen Madness game in the Sims when we created sport, and unfortunately Dayton got upset early in that tournament. If you remember, Sean.
Yeah, they were coming in as big favorites.
Who was their
Obi
player
Toppin,
that year?
Obi Toppin.
Yeah, Obi Toppin.
Something was stopping Obi Toppin. It was the Sims.
Colby, they win the national championship if COVID doesn't happen, right?
They were definitely going to be a 1 seed. Them or San Diego State, right? So we got to claim we got to jump on one of those.
I
But
mean,
We were ahead of San Diego State before they were a good program.
I mean,
Sims.
oh
do.
yeah, oh yeah. I like Dayton here mainly because you have Marquette there, just off the rivalry win, which was shock us. Wisconsin had their number lately, and now they go on the road to a hostile environment. And if you haven't caught this Dayton team, I think this Dayton team is really really good. They're a deep team. Adding some key players like Key and Posh Alexander and stuff. I just think this is probably the most talented Dayton team since that COVID year when they got robbed. So with the home crowd behind them, with the way they played in Maui, completely impressed with Dayton. I actually think they're better than Marquette. I actually think on a neutral, I would take Dayton. So you add that to the fact they're at home with both teams. I think great defensive teams, but I just think the arena is the difference here. So give me the Flyers to fly on.
veteran ball handlers handle the pressure. Marquette, all that good stuff. I'm with Colby.
Yeah, both really good offenses, but you're not worried. I don't know. I mean, Marquette's defense are not a little worried. We think the home carries them.
Go look at the depth chart for Dayton. It's all juniors and seniors.
All right, I'll take Dayton. I mean, I want to take.
We
like
MAC basketball.
Yeah. All right, I'm in on Dayton. Let's go.
Oklahoma State. We're heading to Stillwater, where I don't know if you saw this, but they Gundy gave money back to the school to pay players. At least that's how some are spinning it. Oklahoma State catching two.
He's an alum. He's an alum.
He's taking whether or not he had a choice, which I think he does, because most college football coaches have advantageous contracts. His salary has been reduced by multiple millions of dollars. That is apparently getting reappropriated for the players pool. So that seems like a positive. If I'm a coach, that's a nice way to win over the locker room. Like, hey guys, kicked back a couple million back into the salary pool. You're welcome. Oklahoma, like I said, Oklahoma State catching 2.5 against Porter Moser and the gang. Still hasn't called back Sister Jean, and now her damn team isn't even tapping her up. The level of disrespect.
See they did a video where they corrected that and they all gave her a dab.
Oh, you can't not dab. They don't. That's
love
the problem.
Sister Jean.
With Porter Moser gone, no one knows who the fuck Sister Jean is. Shouldn't have gotten rid of Porter. Colby, which side of this route? I assume we're taking the home team here.
Oh, we're on Storm Watch, guys. We got category
brewing.
5. Category 5 going on here.
Will be a tornado in Oklahoma. That's all they got there.
Yeah, and look, I know Oklahoma's looked great this year. They're top 15, but going into Stillwater, you get a chance. This place will be lit. They will, they're the better 3-point shooting team. But I just think you're what's that?
You lied to us again. It's a neutral site. Hold on.
What?
Oh, you're right. It's in Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City. You're right.
Oh,
You're right.
Son of a bitch.
Edit this out, Kramer.
Damn it.
Bleep out.
Damn it.
And Colby's
Adi,
entire.
can we get a super cut of all the fucked up locations?
The entire 20 seconds he did. Just bleep that out for the podcast people. They don't need to hear that shit.
Dude, college basketball is killing me. Why are they doing this?
Oh boy, Colby's losing
Why
his
would you
mind.
do
This is the ramblings of someone with a young child who's not sleeping correct hours.
That
is everything all right, Colby?
Actually, no. Last night was the worst of my entire time as a father.
That makes sense. Okay, you got through it, though, right?
Sort of. But yeah, my whole analysis is just changed now because Oklahoma City is like 10 minutes from Norman.
No, I know. This is I'm on Oklahoma here. Oklahoma State. What are you talking? If this was in Stillwater, which obviously, as we learned, it's not.
Sorry, I'm just throwing on the snorkel mask before someone tells me to put it on.
Sooners all day.
Yeah,
Boomer Sooner. This is a bad
Kramer,
spot.
What
for
are you doing?
State
what are you doing?
I don't know why anyone needs this tube. Just hold your breath like a man. Well, this is really emotional all over the place.
Well, Oklahoma is the better team. Like the reason it makes by like a wide margin. I'm surprised this is only 2.5.
Oklahoma State though, battle tested. They have not played a home game since November 14th.
Yeah, this spread's way off. This is going to be like 5.
What do you?
We should make this 4.5 because Colby didn't know they were. Colby made.
I thought it was in Stillwater. I thought it was in Stillwater.
So what's the number then, Colby? A quick adjustment.
5.5 at least.
I'll
say
Oklahoma.
6.5. 6.5.
Oh wow! I'll take
6.5?
I'll take the points.
All right, if it's 6.5, okay.
I'm laying
all over the place.
Yeah,
really.
You think? Yeah.
I'm taking Oklahoma State and
crowd.
and the 6.5. 6.5 is enough to make this interesting.
Yeah, I think handicapping the handicapper right now.
Yeah,
I think it's important we fade Colby for the rest of the card.
Okay.
5 p.m. on the West Coast.
So you're taking Oklahoma State in the 6.5.
I was always taking them. Now I'm getting 4 extra points. 5 p.m. on the West Coast. We're into New York City. I assume this is being played in New York. You got that one right. Madison Square Garden, or are we out at Barclays?
Garden.
Oh, at the Garden. Yukon, Gonzaga. Gonzaga laying 5.5. Okay, Yukon is a home team here. This may say semi home or neutral. This is a Yukon home game, and Yukon, are they back now?
They've won 3 straight against decent competition: Baylor and Texas, and Maryland Eastern Shore. That's a good one. Shout out to Art Shell. No, lock Zags. This is the spot. Zags just lost to Kentucky in overtime. This is where they get it right. They're the better team, better roster this year. I know it's at the Garden, but I think
doesn't matter. Gonzaga off a loss. What happened when they lost to West Virginia in OT? Came back and spanked Indiana by 16 on a neutral. This is when you take Gonzaga. This is Lock City.
Go.
Gonzaga laying the 5.5.
UConn doesn't lose. They're not losing at the Garden. Come on, guys.
I think this is going to close lower than 5.5 too. So.
Oh wow. You want to shorten the number up for yourself?
No, I'm fine taking.
I'm UConn's not losing at the Garden. Seems pretty simple which side I'm on.
No, Gonzaga rolls.
Michael Crichton, aka Creighton. I don't think he wrote any books about Tuscaloosa. Is this game being played in Alabama, Colby?
Yes, Coleman Coliseum.
Okay, so I don't think Michael Crichton's written any books about this part of the country or the world. Alabama, still out there, laying 10.5. Cockbrenner playing, I assume.
Yes,
all the way back.
They've had 2 really good wins against Kansas and UNLV, but man, I'm actually going to lay the number here. I think Alabama's going to run them out of the gym. Going on the road here.
Little staple action.
Papa Isaacs is out for the year for Michael Crichton, and yeah, I just think that
you can't give Crichton this many points though. That's where it gets crazy.
One of their best players is out.
10.5. I'm taking Creighton all day. They're a well coached team.
Bama by 25.
All right, I'll take the 25
performance.
I'll take the 25. I'll take your 25. Creighton's not going to get destroyed. That's crazy. Kramer, what are you doing?
I'm just. He basically. Yeah, I think missing. Yeah, I think the number movement's appropriate. I'm with Colby. Lay it. Every once in a, Alabama has that high ceiling. Lay it.
Lay it with the Alabama. All right.
A lot of dogs today. This is weird.
Roll time
for the lock, dog, and tease. Brought to you by Rhythm sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RATHMM. Go over there, get your 7-day free trial today. Kramer, what do you got? Lock, and dog.
Of course, I am coming off 2-1 lock performance. Have a lot of pressure to continue.
Up to 40%.
I mean, you make jokes, but I'm catching your asses. Lock number 1, give me Georgetown. Ed Cooley and the boys heading up to Cuse, getting it done. Lock number 2, I like
Georgetown getting 4.5.
Georgetown getting 4.5 is lock number 1. Lock number 2, give me. Oh, I almost made a mistake. Give me Louisville plus 11. Way too many points in that game. Lock number 3, regular season Rick, Tennessee laying the 2. And for my dog, Yukon does not lose at the Garden. Thank you.
Yukon getting the 5.5.
Well, it's a money line, so we're not gonna do the mainstream. Make sure we put the money line there. I don't want to get caught giving out a plus spread pick for my dog of the week, like so many of the ESPN honks.
Auburn laying the 8.5 on the neutral there in Atlanta. Xavier catching 9.5 in Cincinnati. Those games are always close, always a rivalry spot. And then other lock, Rutgers -9. Good smash opportunity for them. And for my dog, I'll give you trying to think. There's some interesting dog spots here. I'll keep it small here, but yeah, give me forks up. Give me Arizona State on the money line.
Wow.
I think a nice little home dog there for this good team.
They end Florida's win streak at 9.
Yep.
Nice.
Colby, what do you got?
Lock Xavier in the Crosstown Classic Shootout Skyline Chili Fest, whatever the fuck. And
Bush.
then Zags -5.5 against this Yukon team.
Whoa.
LSU
In the Garden?
-2.5. LSU -2.5 has the third lock against this phony ACC. The dog is the Memphis Tigers. Palmetto Bowl on deck.
He might go 0-4. He needs some sleep.
No, I like this Memphis play as well.
I added
and
a
I'm
fourth lock too of Dayton.
Oh, I'll do a 4th lock.
Okay.
I mean, if unless Sean sometimes says not too many picks.
Well, how much is Dayton getting, Colby? What?
Plus one
They
and a
are
half.
one. Yeah, they're a 1.5 point dog.
Yeah, I'll also throw Memphis +5 in there. Kramer, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm with Colby. Give me Dayton plus 1.5.
And I'll give out a parlay. Give me Memphis and Arizona State on the money line.
I like give me a little round robin action of Memphis, Georgetown, Arizona, and Dayton.
Ooh.
Memphis, Georgetown,
Arizona, Dayton.
Arizona, Dayton.
See you at the Winners' Cup.
Okay.
You
I'll see you in the winner's circle.
would you like something from me?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you everyone for tuning in to the Sports Gambling Podcast. Do you want to give out one, Ryan?
Nope. The audience won't, because Sean said no more picks now.
No,
more picks.
You said, do I want one?
That's yeah.
All right. Hey, make sure you check out Colby and all things college football and basketball on the College Experience. Toss them 5 stars. Toss us 5 stars. Give us a nice rating and review. Balance out. I saw a guy gave a 3-star review for college football. We dominated the college football conference championship slate. 5-1 with our locks. That deserves 5 stars. Colby.
Check out the College Football Experience because we didn't just do the FCS celebration, but we did D2, D3, NAIA picks.
Wow,
Every game
why?
happening on the field. All right.
Can you bet
Why?
it?
Because it's America. It's America.
Where
baby,
can you
all right?
where can you bet NAIAAI?
Well, you got to go to Cut. You got to get on over to Cut.
See you over
Yeah.
at Cut. And
See you on Gridiron.
MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Underdog
That's a
Fantasy, promo code SGPN. Download the Rebet app, promo code SGPN. Kramer, last chance to give out a parlay.
Well, the chat is asking nicely, so not cover your ears, Sean. I'm gonna turn Sean's headphones off over here. Georgetown, Yukon, and Louisville.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
Oh, the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
I hope you didn't hear that, Sean.
Kramer, let it rip.